Welcome to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, I'm Dr. Hampton, a board-certified family and obesity medicine doctor with additional training in nutrition and functional medicine. I really appreciate you coming to my channel, and if you want to heal from metabolic dysfunction and become metabolically healthy, this is the channel for you. So I have a question for you today. The question is very simple. Do you like the taste of bread? And I know that's one of the favorite things we consumed before we started our low carb, keto or carnivore journey, right? Bread. It's one of those like comfort foods that we all love. Well, you're not alone. And even the metabolic health doctor has moments when he wants the taste of bread. So those moments when you want to have that delicious, simple taste of grilled cheese sandwich, right? That grilled cheese toast experience. And maybe even that bologna sandwich that my mom used to make for us back in the day when I was younger. And of course, we would burn it a little bit and we would have mustard on it. And man, I really reflect back on that and thank my mom for giving us those memories of all of that delicious bologna sandwich on regular bread back then. So yes, I do believe, and my mom taught me, it's okay to have moments of indulgence. It's okay to do that. It's okay to think about and enjoy some of the foods that you enjoy before you started on your low carb journey. It's all about how you do it though. But the good news is when I first started my low carb journey about 10 years ago, there wasn't anything like keto breads, low carb breads, but now they're everywhere. So the question many of my patients have is whether or not it's okay to eat those keto or low carb breads, and they worry sometimes because they're not sure it's the right thing to do, and they certainly don't want to have the weight gain that they experienced on those traditional breads. So they come to me, they ask these questions, and they're concerned about that. So this video is really about putting that all in perspective, right? So what I do is I look at nutrition labels like crazy, and I encourage you to do that as well. And when you look at the keto, the bread labels, right, you'll find that they what they do is that they look at net carbs, right? And when you look at net carbs, those numbers will be really low for these products. It'll be like 1 or even 0, right? And that's because most keto-friendly processed foods, they are marketed to focus on using that net carb approach. And with this approach, it allows you to take the total carbs, right, and subtract the fiber from that. And in many cases, you'll end up with a very small number, a 1, 0 net carbs. And so if your goal is to have a 0 net carb diet, right, and you're eating 0 net carb bread, you should in theory be able to consume a whole lot of bread and you won't exceed your net carb total for the day, right? Because it's going to be 0 net carb. So that sounds like a win-win situation, and it seems to make sense. But let's pause for a second, right? Let's take a moment and use a little common sense just for a moment. So let's, in theory, imagine that you're going to eat 6 slices of that bread for the day. You divide it between breakfast, lunch, and dinner, maybe 2 slices for each meal, right? So, and if you do that, you would have consumed like 0 net carbs for the day, which keeps you on your 0 net, your low net carb, goal. So that's great, but there's a problem. Many people, in the low carb community recommend, that it's okay to go with net carbs, but what they forget is that there are calories still there. So each slice of bread is going to have, anywhere from 95 to 100 calories. And those calories do matter. And so if you go with the 6 slices in the example I just gave, that's 600 calories. Well, the experts would say, well, doc, that's not a problem because you don't have to worry about those calories because those are fiber calories, and humans do not absorb fiber. So what's the worry, right? Well, as a clinician on the front line who takes care of real patients, right, I have experienced a different story. My experience is that when people get stuck, they have weight loss stalls, right? The most common reason, if not in the top 5, let's just say it that way, is that they're consuming too many keto-friendly products like the keto breads, the keto drinks, the keto bars, things like that. So if you have a stall, you need to think this may be the reason. So for that reason, I have recommendations to my patients to help them when they have stalls or when they have questions around this topic. Number 1, I am now recommending that most of my patients focus on total carbs instead of net carbs. And with this approach, it'll naturally force you to consume less of these highly processed keto products and instead eat differently. And differently meaning, number 2, you're going to have to focus on eating whole foods and only use those keto-friendly options occasionally. For example, I keep Keto Chow electrolyte supplement powder, protein powder, in my office, so when I can't get to my steak or my half chicken, I always have it there so that it will satiate me, give me that protein I need. But that's not my go-to. That's what I use when I don't have my ribeye, right? So that's what I want you to do. Number 3, if you have a carb addiction or a processed food addiction issue, right, it's highly probable that you'll be triggered by keto bread. So for those people who are watching this video, I strongly encourage you not to consume keto, low-carb type breads. I think it'll only trigger you. And finally, for those who don't have those addictions, it's probably okay to periodically consume a keto or low-carb bread. Consider it an indulgence. Consider it something you do periodically. It's just not your go-to. So there are many people who who are on their weight loss journey, and they need to have this information. So if you know anybody who is on that journey, is trying to become metabolically healthy, and they want to get evidence-based information, which is what I try to provide, make sure to share this video with them. And I really appreciate you guys for checking me out today, and just make sure to like and subscribe as well. So until we have another video where I'm going to continue to teach you all the keys to metabolic health, continue to be safe, be well, and of course continue to protect your nest.